What's up? What's up? Real MVPs. Ricky Widmer here. Welcome into another edition of NFL Big Board preseason 1.0. We're calling it 1.0, even though it's before the season. It's our first one of the year. I'm joined by the man, JD. JD, how we doing? I'm trying to keep this is something where we are how many videos deep? I gotta try to keep it interesting for you guys.
Yeah.
And the later it gets, as it is for you 11 o'clock, me 10 o'clock on a Thursday night, you gotta keep the energy flowing.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing a great job. I'm doing great.
Especially when we talked about one of the worst positional classes right now in the draft. It's like when Dave and I did the NBA ones, and it's luckily for us, we got, I think it was centers and bigs was the one where it was but that was the last one to do, we didn't have one after that. But
yeah,
we're doing defensive backs in this one. We'll do cornerbacks and we'll do safeties, keeping them separate, but keeping them in the same video. Before we get into everything, though, remember, if you want to support us, check out that Patreon page. If you want to join the best community in the universe, go ahead, check out the MVP Discord down below. And then last but not least, check out mostvaluablepodcasts.com. Bookmark it. CJD's top 25 cumulative for the big board. And also, there's a nice calendar there. You can see all of when we're going to be posting, when stuff's going to post on Patreon, when it'll post on the YouTube. You will see it there. But JD, we'll start with cornerbacks. Give us your cornerback rankings 1.0 before the season is even starting.
All right. So number 1, I have Kool-Aid McKinstry. Number 2, I have Kalen King. Number 3, I have Nate Wiggins. Number 4, I have Denzel Burke. And number 5, I have Jason Marshall Jr.
Here's a question I have for you.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it that Alabama defensive backs just have the coolest names? Kool-Aid McKinstry, Clinton Dix.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Seems like they always have the best names.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. And I don't know if it's good on their parents, I guess.
I'm telling you, if McKinstry, because NILs are now a thing and you don't have to worry about getting in trouble for it.
Man.
No, not Kool-Aid man. He's just got to he's got to have a shirt that he sells with his face on it. And it just says, "Oh yeah!" Come on.
Yeah,
or he's got to do a partnership with WWE where they team up him and LA Knight. Yeah, let me talk to you. Yeah, Kool-Aid. Yeah.
They just have a bit going.
Yeah. Kool-Aid goes, oh, yeah, oh yeah. Let me talk to you. But seriously, JD, really the only thing I have for cornerbacks right now at this point, before we get to a season, before we get into everything, is this positional class. Is it just going to be McKinstry, King, and the rest? All year, are we going to talk about McKinstry, King? Oh, neck and neck. Are they going to pace each other? And then everybody else is going to be behind them?
No, I don't think so. I actually think that you'll see a lot of risers. The person I have at 5th is Jason Marshall Jr.
Okay.
He's a Florida guy, so I'm pretty familiar with him.
I wonder why you have him 5th then.
No. Believe me, it's a lot of Gators fans, myself included.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really down year last year compared to what he was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But he has all the tangibles to rise up. Good length, good speed. Good hip flexibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he is somebody that could rise up. But again, Denzel Burke, I've seen a lot of people have him number 1 or 2.
Mm-hmm.
He's another person who he could rise up for me. I just don't have him there yet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I don't think it's a foregone conclusion that McKinstry or King are going to be the number 1 and 2. It's just how it is.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing about cornerbacks that I'm kind of weary about some cornerbacks because I think I'm trying to think, was Ringo in last year's class or was he 2 years ago?
Last year.
I remember Ringo at the beginning of the year top 15, top 10. Like, I think it was top 10. He was very high in the draft. And then when we got to the draft, it was like, oh, Ringo's nowhere to be found, and it's Gonzalez and it's Witherspoon were the two that we were talking about. But then there's other years where it's like, haha, Clinton Dix, he was top at the beginning and he stayed there. He was top towards the end. To me, with this cornerback class, I'm familiar with Kool-Aid. I'm familiar with King. The rest of these guys have to prove it for me. Like, obviously, you and Marshall, you've seen some film on him because you're a Florida fan. Like, you saw him all of last year. You watch every Florida game. But, like, for me, he's someone that I've not dove into yet. And I just think to myself of, like, will either King or Kool-Aid fall? I don't think so, but it's always an option. And will any of these guys behind them pass them up? I don't think so. I think if I'm putting my money on it, King might be the one that falls off out of the two, because I think Kool-Aid McKinstry is going to be the number one corner all year, and we're not even going to think about it unless an injury happens.
Yeah, that's fair. I want to ask you something though.
Go ahead.
Do you think you said Kool-Aid's going to be like probably number one all year?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of NFL corner, do you put him in like a Jalen Ramsey type, or do you think he's just going to be a very good starter, or is he going to be top 5 cornerback in the league, or what? Because for me, I'll just say this.
I gotta see him play. I hate to say that, but I have to see how the season goes.
That's fair. Because for me right now, just off of preseason and everything, I think he's just going to be. He could be the number one corner in the class, but I think he's just going to be potential Pro Bowler or just solid starter. I don't know if he'll break into that top 5 corner.
Let me look at something really quick. Where is it? I'm looking at our bookmarks to find it. Here it is. So another thing that I got to look at is team needs and who's going to be up in that. Cause I think Kool-Aid will be a top 10 pick. But so I'm going to throw out some teams that need cornerback and we'll decide, are they going to be in range for him? Baltimore. No, I don't think they'll be high enough. Carolina. Potentially, but here's the thing I worry about Carolina when it comes to draft position. They got some key pieces. Strength of schedule isn't going to be the toughest. They're a team I look at. Them and the Falcons are teams that I look at of like, could they outperform because of their strength of schedule? Then you have the Bears, technically a 4th need. They could be there if they want to grab a corner. I don't think they're going to be as good as everyone thinks they're going to be. Detroit, cornerback is their number 1 need right now, it looks like. I don't think they're going to be high enough, though. Jacksonville, they'll probably be a playoff team. Chargers will be fighting for a playoff team. The Rams, but it'll be interesting to see where the Rams go, because if they're 3rd, they might go quarterback over cornerback. If they're 1 or 2, they're definitely going to go quarterback. And then other than that, like Philadelphia, they're not going to be high enough. The Niners, they're not going to be high enough. So it's going to be like, I think for Kool-Aid, it's going to get to the point of he's not getting drafted by a team that needs cornerback. He's getting drafted by a team that's like, I see his value being here and I don't want to, basically I'm taking the BPA is what his draft thing is going to be. It's not going to be a team that goes, oh, cornerbacks are number 1 need.
No, yeah, I agree. Obviously, stuff will change for team needs and whatnot. But if he's as good as, some people think he is, you'll have teams trade up for him. I mean, but I don't know if I had to say right now, I don't know if I have him as a top 10 player in the draft.
Yeah.
So
I don't think so. I think there's a better chance he could fall out of the top 10.
Yeah.
And that's not because of him playing poorly. It's because other guys will play better. It depends on the quarterbacks. Let's say the quarterbacks ball out And let's say by Big Board 4.0, we're having a completely different conversation of like, oh man, the top 4 quarterbacks, these are all top 10 picks. Yeah. And like if quarterbacks ball out, you know that's going to happen because of the position. I think he's going to be he's either going to go high because people struggle or go low because there was an overproduction from people at more important positions.
Yeah. No, I think you nailed it there, honestly. Like there are other position groups that are valued more than cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
And like you just said as well, like what teams as of right now really need corner that bad.
Yeah. The other part of the defensive back safeties really don't have a lot here. I know this is going to be another soapbox for JD to get on top of, but instead, before we do that, JD, what's your rundown for the safeties? Who you got?
So I have Callan Bullock at 1, Cooper DeJean. Yeah, DeJean.
Mm-hmm.
I have Cameron Kitchens and I have Javon Bullard.
So for this one, I will say safety is the one position where I have not looked at a lick of players. I've looked everywhere else. I wanted you because you wanted to talk about your number one guy in Bullock.
Yeah. First, though, I just want to say this before people jump on me in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm aware that Cooper DeJean plays corner, but he's both a safety and a corner, and I think he will be a safety in the NFL.
So kid out of Iowa, you think is going to be a safety?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, so Callan Bullock, I think he's easily the best corner in the draft, or sorry, safety in the draft coming up. I don't see that changing. He does everything you want from a safety. He's fast. Well, he's fast for a safety. Like he's good. He has average, or yeah, like good enough speed. He's 6'3", which is great. He plays that center field type role where he's just ball hawking, which I love in a corner. Or sorry, I keep saying corner. In a safety, I love that.
In a defensive back.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean he has very good instincts on the ball. He's good enough in coverage. I think he needs to work a little bit more when he's forced to be in man. But as a zone coverage guy, he's pretty good. He seems, from everything that I've read, he seems like he learns the playbook, and he learns from his mistakes pretty quickly, which you kind of want from that safety role. He's a very good tackler. You don't see him get like slip by often. And yeah, he's also not a terrible run defender. That.
Oh, you kind of cut off. I'm like, oh, does he have more to say? Yeah, I mean, to me, like I said, safety's the one position I haven't dove into yet, as my attention has been on everywhere else. But I just like with safeties, I feel like lately they're kind of a set, like unless you're outer worldly good, it depends on, does a team really love you? Does a team really value you here? And they're more of a second thought compared to, because like how many times have we had it where it's like, oh man, this safety's really good, he's going to be a first rounder. Oh wait, why is he still here day 2? Wait, why is he continuing to fall? Someone draft him, please. Someone draft him, please. He's a first round talent, please. Like, I feel like that happens way too much recently to the safety position.
Oh, for sure.
Like last year was the kid from Alabama that I'm blanking on his name, where people were like, oh man, he could go in the first round, but don't be surprised if he fell. And then he fell. Oh. Yeah, I thought there was the kid from Alabama.
There's Jordan Battle, who the Bengals drafted in the 3rd or 4th round. But who was the...
I think that's... Who? Now you're going to make me look it up. Yeah. Let's see. NFL draft 2023.
I feel like I know who you're talking about.
I want to... Maybe it's not Alabama, and I'm just thinking about that. Brian Branch. I knew it was Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
I knew it was Alabama. It was Brian Branch.
Yeah, because I saw him as a nickel corner. That's why I didn't see him as a safety.
Yeah. Yeah, like I knew there was a safety that because like Antonio Johnson, where did he get drafted? Do you remember what round he got drafted in?
I want to say that was like in the 4th round.
Okay. Yeah. Brian Branch was the one like I'm looking at the what website is this? PFF. PFF.com had him in April before the draft as number 15 on the big board. And he went out of the first round. Like I'm not saying like, oh, they're dumb for that, but it was like, that's what I think of safeties. You could have them as high as you want on your big board, but then teams don't value them as first round picks anymore, it looks like.
Because teams have gotten burned. Look at Isaiah Simmons. Like, he was supposed to be like the best safety prospect to come out. And my man isn't, I don't know if he's back playing safety, but he was playing linebacker for a while. So, I mean.
You know who I think of even more than that?
Who?
The Raiders drafted him. Mississippi State kid. I flamed them for the pick because this was the first year that that idiot that did mock drafts for NFL Network. What's his name? Mike Mayock was their like drafting guy, and it was Abrams. You're right. It was Abrams.
Yeah, I liked Abrams. I really
but like
him.
But you can't say they didn't get burned by that pick. Am I wrong for that?
I don't even know if he's still on their team, if I'm being honest. But.
Exactly. That was the year they took Clelin Ferrell.
Yeah, that was awful draft.
Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Abrams in the first round.
The draft was terrible.
They also took Trayvon Mullen, Max Crosby, Isaiah Johnson, Foster Morneau, Hunter Renfrow, and Quentin Bell.
You know what? Okay, well, I take it back. That first round was pretty bad besides Josh Jacobs, but the rest of that draft is pretty freaking. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. And then the next year they took Damon Arnett, the cornerback out of Ohio State, that I believe did not pan out for them, right?
He got arrested almost immediately. And I think he's on Baltimore now.
Both of their first round picks that year got arrested because the other one's Henry Ruggs.
Yeah.
Oh. Just win, baby. Just win.
If you get drafted by Vegas, better not go outside because it looks like you're going to get arrested if you do.
The only other safety they took in the first 2 rounds was Trayvon Moehrig out of TCU in 2021. Took him in the second.
I liked him.
I know you did because you talked about him ad nauseum.
Yeah.
But yeah, I knew Abrams was the one I was thinking of that they got burned on. But that is going to do it for, first off, our safety cornerback discussion, but also our big board. If you've watched these in order, or if you finally have come to this video, probably should have done this at the end of each one, but it was going to be a long like rant and I didn't want to do it for the end of each one. So hopefully you've watched them all the way through. You've gotten to this point. Check out the website, mostvaluablepodcast.com, because this is the kickoff to basically the year at hand. You're watching this on YouTube. It's Monday right now. Basically, we got football starting up this Saturday. We've got on the 28th, first mock draft gets posted to Patreon, then gets posted to YouTube later that week. And then JD, September 1st on Patreon, September 4th on YouTube. The draft room is back. And then right from there, boom, we're in full swing. I will say this, the next big board you will see from us is actually not that far away, JD. The next big board 2.0 will be September 18th will come out on Patreon. September 21st will be released on YouTube. So couple weeks after the season, JD and I will be back. But pretty much on the website, you can see everything for the year, when things are posting, when they go on Patreon, when they go on YouTube. Make sure to bookmark that website. We're also going to have player profiles up there. I'm going to do some player profiles from it. Dave's going to cover it for the NBA. We're very excited for all the stuff we got. The videos, content is what we've basically got. Because like JD, you mentioned, we're not just starting here a month away from the draft. We're starting from the beginning. We're going to be watching these boys from start to finish. It's going to be a long process, but it's going to be a very rewarding process.
First.
JD, I want to thank you for coming up with these with this list. I put a lot of the onus on JD because I was like, I'm going to be doing the mock drafts, and I wanted to give JD some onus on something. And thank you for taking the bulls by the horns and being the one to man the mock drafts, making my life easier. That's going to do it for this video. Check out the Patreon down below, the website down below, the Discord down below. Let us know what you guys think in the comments section. And as always, have a good day, everybody. As always, we'd like to thank the people that make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you would like to become a patron, go ahead and click the Patreon icon in the bottom right. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Sports, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.